Hey friend, it's been a month in my mindful eating project and the results are astounding. I lost 1.2 kilograms of weight in 4 weeks without dieting, without guilt, and yes, while still eating my favorite foods. In this video, I'll show you exactly how I use mindful eating and a super simple food tracking system in my Notion spreadsheet to lose weight. So if you're ready to enjoy food again, have more energy and feel a little more like you, grab your coffee, relax, and let's make healthy living feel easy and actually fun again. Oh, and you also want to grab my free Notion spreadsheet template in the show notes to get the ball rolling. Let's dive in. Now I know how it feels to be tired of starting over. I've been there. I've tried diets that promised miracles but only left me anxious and obsessed with food. Among the most memorable ones, there was a popcorn diet where I ate only popcorn for a week, and another interesting one was the heavy cream diet where the whites around my eyes turned a strange creamy color. True story. Okay, granted, these diets were in my teens, and I've got a little more sense in me now that I am a little older, but the weight keeps rising over the years, despite my annual 3-week fast. So you can see when I say I've been there, please take my word for it. Now, this diet was inspired by the book The Comfort Crisis by Michael Easter, and it somehow resonated with me. Now this time I wanted something that felt sustainable, something I could actually live with, because prolonged fasting, my 3-week fasts, only lasts 3 weeks for 1 year. That's it. The rest of the year I gain the weight back. So this was why I started my mindful eating project. And it is not a quick fix, but a way to build awareness around what, why, and how I eat. And after just 1 month, I've seen more change, both physically and mentally, than all of those other diets put together. Well, except one. I'm still convinced that fasting is the ultimate health boost. However, at some point, you need to start eating again. And this was the logical next step. Alright, here's what we'll cover in this video. How I lost 1.2 kilos in 4 weeks while eating mindfully with no restrictions. What happened when binge eating Tuesdays hit and how I learned to handle them. How I track my homemade meals and estimate calories in store-bought ones. The Notion template that keeps me consistent and how you can use it. And finally, the surprising health benefits that I've noticed, from better energy to improved sleep and my mood. And I'll also share what didn't go perfectly. This, after all, is real life, and I want you to see the full picture. Alright, now, let's start with the obvious, the scale. My weight dropped exactly 1.2 kilograms in 4 weeks. That means a month. Which was right on schedule. I wasn't starving, I wasn't cutting out entire food groups, I simply became more aware. And that awareness changed everything. Instead of asking myself, is this food good or bad? I asked myself, how does this make me feel after I eat it? And if that didn't help, and it didn't help a lot of times, I just lowered the amount of food that I would normally eat. So instead of the full chocolate, I only ate 1 or 2 bars to satisfy my cravings. And mindful eating is exactly that. Paying attention without judgment. And it worked great. Until Tuesdays hit. Every single Tuesday, like clockwork, I had this intense cravings. At first, I tried to ignore them, and I thought I'll be strong today. But by Wednesday, I'd overcompensate and ended up eating double. So instead, when next week the pattern repeated itself, I was ready. I made decisions to make peace with it. Now, when Tuesday cravings hit, I allow myself to indulge. Mindfully. I enjoy what I'm eating, I savor it, and the next day I am right back on track. Do the calories spike? Yes. Do I feel guilty? No, because I know by now that on Wednesday I usually eat less than recommended, because I just don't need it. So if you have the same problem as me and you notice a day of the week when your cravings hit the hardest, please tell me. It will be nice to know that it's not only my strange quirk. Oh, and I also love to hear how you handle it. So why don't I fret about the overeating on the certain days? Well, that brings me to point number 3, the 80-20 rule. In the first 2 weeks, I admit I was overwhelmed. It's probably the perfectionism in me, because every day I have to do my best. But this mindset only backfired and I felt guilty the next day. But when the first week came to a close and I looked at the average numbers, I was pleasantly surprised. My average calorie intake was right where it should be. So I gave myself a little slack and decided not to fret about each single day, and developed a mindset to follow mindful eating about only 80% of the time, not 100. Because when I try to be perfect, and that's basically all of the time, resentment builds up, and resentment had always led to quitting. My goal now isn't perfection, it's consistency. I want to stick with this project long term. And if I can be mindful 80% of the time and give myself grace the other 20, in my book, I'm already winning. But this mindset and mindful eating project comes with certain difficulties. I'm talking about weighing my food. I admit at first it felt like a chore. And sometimes it still does. But after a few weeks, it became like second nature. I always kept the scale on my counter, and before I took any bite of my food, I just weighed it. Now I can eyeball portions almost perfectly, and that skill will be priceless when I stop weighing my food entirely. But weighing my food was necessary to open my eyes on how much I've been eating. But the point wasn't to measure it forever. So when I get the hang of it and I get to eyeball my portions quite accurately, I intend to stop weighing my food. And with weighing the food, one additional problem popped up. One I didn't consider in the beginning, and one that took quite a bit of additional time to master and some ingenuity on my part. And this is weighing the prepared meals. I'm talking about meals that I don't cook myself. These are the takeaways I order on Tuesday, the lunches my mother cooks during the week, and even the salads I buy for my work lunch. None of them have the sticker of the calorie intake per 100 grams on the bottom of the plate. And at first, I admit, I panicked. How do I track this? But I soon realized the accurate account will be impossible, so I eyeballed it. I simply estimate it. I know how my mother cooks, and I know all the ingredients of the meals, so I just weigh the entire plate and estimate what of each of the ingredients is in the meal. And I do the same with the meals I buy for my lunch, because they are usually healthy. Now, the worst are the highly processed food like pizzas or burgers, and that's where, because there's no way I can tell or estimate the correct amount of sugar that are in there. So I weigh the plate, I weigh the meal, and then just add 30 to 40% of the calories to the plate, and I move on. But this isn't the thing that takes the most out of my time. It's the meals that I cook myself. For my homemade meals, I had to take a little more structured approach if I didn't want to weigh each ingredient each time I made it. So my procedure is the following. I write down each ingredient, weigh the entire dish, then I calculate the percentage of the calories per 100 grams. So I basically have the label of my meal per 100 grams. So next time I eat the dish, I only weigh it and I write down how many grams of the dish I had, and I put it into a spreadsheet just like it was any other ingredient. Granted, the setup takes some time and it's front-loaded work, but then it's easy. And I only update it when I try new seasonal meals, with fruits or veggies. And this keeps tracking simple, visual, and totally anxiety free. Now, as I told you, there is my Notion, a Notion spreadsheet that I use in the description, free for you to download. It's filled with all of the meals and food that I've already used, and you just add the meals you normally eat. But please tell me if you'd like a full video walking through each of the category in the spreadsheet so you know how to use it efficiently. But to return to my monthly overview, not everything has gone according to plan. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't exercised at all this month. And when I say exercised, I mean walked. I haven't properly exercised in years. But my step count is below average this month. It's just around, 5,800 steps per day. But to go with the theme of being tolerant toward myself, beating myself about it wasn't an option. Instead, I focused on mastering one thing at a time. And I decided food awareness first and movement second. Because the more I listen to podcasts about healthy living and losing weight, more and more scientists claim that exercise has nothing to do with weight loss. It has other benefits for the body, of course, but weight loss is not on top of that list. So one step at a time for me. Which brings me to my next point. Something that I have been doing religiously for the past 6 months and now found it's done me more bad than good. I'm talking about my breakfast. Here's something funny, or maybe not so funny. I've discovered my favorite breakfast, my homemade cereal, cupped with banana smoothie, is way more calorie dense than I thought. It's healthy, I'm certain, but when eating it around, 9 or 10 in the morning, I ate half of my daily calorie intake in that one meal. And if I ate regularly the rest of the day, I racked up, well over 2,000 calories by dinner. So I decided to quit my favorite breakfast. I still eat it sometimes, but now it's more of an indulgence. Again, it's all about awareness shift, and that makes a huge difference. Let's talk about non-scale wins, because these are huge. I started wearing my wedding ring again, even overnight, and it slides off very easily now because I'm not as bloated. It even slides off easily in the morning. Now my energy crashes not nearly as bad, especially when I skip carbs at lunch. My body also doesn't miss bread for breakfast, which is a huge deal for me. And I've learned to pace myself. When I work hard one day, I take it easy the next day, because I found that if I overworked myself, the next day I tend to overeat. So for next month, I'm going to go for no more binge eating Tuesdays. And my second period during this mindful eating project came right on time. It was not painless, but it was predictable. And in my age right now, predictable is a good thing, and it's something I deeply appreciate. So the conclusion, this isn't just weight loss, it's mindful living, and one I plan to continue. Here's what my data looks like from month number 1. Weight, minus 1.2 kilograms lost. Average calories intake was 1,624. Step count, 5,826. Water intake, 1.9 liters. I slept for about 8 hours on average, and my stress level was 2. Now, it's not perfect, and it's real, and it's working. So, what did I learn after just 1 month of mindful eating? First of all, you don't need perfection to make progress. You just need awareness, consistency, and compassion for yourself. I've lost 1.2 kilograms, yes. But more importantly, I've gained clarity, calm, and control. Now I still have 2 months to go and 2 more kilograms to lose to reach my goal. But even after 1 month, I've realized that weight loss is just a nice side effect. If you're tired of dieting and ready to connect with your body, start here. Try one mindful meal today. Notice how you feel, and that's where it begins. And if you haven't seen the first video of my mindful series where I explain how it all began, watch it next. It'll help you to understand the foundation of this journey and maybe inspire your own. Until next time, eat mindfully, live kindly, and remember, balance, not restriction.